Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hope everybody's having a great week for you guys. This will be day of it being Tuesday. We are back with a NBA seedings predictions 1 through 15. Today's video will be the Eastern Conference. Tomorrow's video will be for the Western Conference predictions. And then we'll go into who we think is going to be in the finals for each conference. Who's going to be the finals MVP, who's going to be the regular MVP, most improved, so on and so forth. And for Thursday's video, we're going to go ahead and start off with the Eastern Conference, starting with the Orlando Magic, the Detroit Pistons, Hornets, Pacers, and the Washington Wizards, 11 through 15, in which three of these technically are in a rebuild teams, that being the Magic, the Pistons, and the Pacers. I do like the projections, and I like the rebuild that is already going on with those three teams, but is going to take them a good minute to adjust to playing with one another. I do love all three of those teams. The Hornets, I do worry about the predicament for LaMelo Ball, in that they don't have a lot going on. They went and got Mark Williams in the draft. They kept Gordon Hayward. They went and kept Kelly Oubre, Terry Rozier, Plumlee. They got JT Thor. Unfortunately, Miles Bridges went and had a domestic violence case, and he has yet to get a contract because they have not found out if he actually did do the crime of hitting his girlfriend and his kid. And so he's without a contract. It is not in the best predicament for him, but as a team, it's kind of rough for him. And then the Washington Wizards, I do love Bradley Beal, but the Porzingis, he's been hurt every single year since his last year on the Knicks, and he keeps getting hurt over and over again, and he did get hurt during the preseason, so I do worry for that fact, as that be Bradley Beal's little dual partner in the pick and roll, or pick and pop more so, or maybe in pick and roll. I do like Rui Hachimura. I do like that Denny Adovija. I do like him a lot. But in general, Washington is going to take them a minute to get going as a team, as a fluid team. And so I do say, and want to say, I am going to be saying that the Washington Wizards are going to be the 11th seed. The Orlando Magic, great, young, solid core, and they could be a dark horse. That I wonder about Jonathan Isaac and his health. They're saying that he's getting close, but he's not healthy yet. And if he gets being healthy with Paulo Banchero, Wendell Carter Jr., Mo Bamba, Markelle Fultz, Cole Anthony, Jalen Suggs, Terrence Ross, they got a great squad, and so they could be a dark horse to get into the play-in tournament. Same with the Detroit Pistons. Then going out and getting Bojan Bogdanovic for only Kelly Olynyk and Saben Lee? I want to say it was Saben Lee. Saben Lee and Kelly Olynyk. And they didn't have to give up a first-round pick, so I do like the Bojan Bogdanovic. I'm just trying to think of... There's somebody else I'm fairly certain that they gave up, but I like the Bojan Bogdanovic trade. He only has one more year left on his contract. Try to get pushed for that play-in tournament. Those two could make the play-in tournament, possibly. And same with the Indiana Pacers. Again, born and raised in Indiana, Reggie Miller, loved my Indiana Pacers. All five of these teams could make the play-in tournament if the right circumstance. Anybody can make the play-in tournament. Anybody can make the playoffs, just depending on the right circumstance. But with the Indiana Pacers, you got Tyrese Halliburton, Benedict Mathurin, Chris Duarte, Isaiah Jackson, Miles Turner, Andrew Nebhard, T.J. McConnell. You got a very nice, solid core that I love. I think I already said Jalen Smith. my mind's going a little bit on the fast end of things because it's been a minute since I last recorded, but those are my 11 through 15. I don't really see them making too much headway of making it into the play-in tournament, and these are the play-in tournament teams. At 10th, we got the Atlanta Hawks. 9th, the Chicago Bulls. The Brooklyn Nets at 8th, and the New York Knicks at 7th. The Atlanta Hawks, I am worried for the fact that Trae Young got absolutely annihilated during the playoffs. They went against the Miami Heat. They showed what teams could do and what they should do against Atlanta Hawks, and that is double team against Trae Young, who's only 5'11". John Collins is a good young player for them. I like them getting Dejounte Murray from the Spurs. They only gave up 3 first-round picks, or was 4? I think it was 3 first-round picks. They gave up some players too. No? There was just 3 first-round picks. That I do like that addition of them. And then they also went out and got AJ Griffin from the draft. They have a great core, but I worry about the fact that of the Trae Young, how much of a usage rate will he have? How often is he going to have the ball in his hands? Is he willing to play off ball? I do like Clint Capella, DeAndre Hunter. I question their bench quite a bit. Yeah, Bogdanovich, Kevin Huerter went to the Warriors. So a little bit 3-point shooting are going to be missing. Gallinari's gone. I wonder about their bench. They were able to keep Lou Williams, but their defense with Nate McMillan kind of did not pan out very well at the beginning of the season. Maybe they flip it to where the beginning of the season they start playing really good defense that could transition to better offense and maybe get some headway, but I have them at 10. Chicago Bulls, well, Lonzo Ball is pretty much the reason why I have them at 9, for the fact that there talks that he might be out for the whole season. He's not able to run or jump. He can barely go up any set of stairs. It worries me for their health because he is their playmaker, their ball handler, their defender at the wing. By golly, they're going to probably move Alex Caruso to the 1 most likely to help still continue to play good defense whenever, because Zach LaVine is not the best defender. I do like DeMar DeRozan. He had a hell of a season last year. And if he does as well as he did this past year, then my predictions right here is going to be absolutely awful. I do wonder about Vucevic. He is regressing quite a bit. Patrick Williams is a phenomenal player. Kobe White, wonder about how his minutes are going to be like. In general, it's a lot of question marks when it comes to the Bulls, in which a lot of the teams are going to be having question marks in, to be honest. Next up is the Brooklyn Nets. Rim protection. Yeah, that's the bottom line as to why I'm even having them in the play-in tournament. Rim protection. Nicholas Claxton is a great young player. Wonder about his rim protection, his rebounding, him as a player, where his ceiling will ever be at is why I worry for that fact. Kevin Durant is Kevin Durant, one of the greatest shooters of all time. Kyrie Irving, it sounds like he's going to be able to play pretty much all the games except for the ones in Toronto with the vaccine. Ben Simmons is back to being healthy, and he doesn't have to shoot. I've talked about this many times on any of my videos. When it comes to Ben Simmons, you don't have to shoot. He does everything what James Harden didn't do, and that's the shoot. A lot better defender. His ball handling is as good. His ball handling is as good. It will never be better than James Harden's ball handling. But he's able to defend. He has great ball handling / playmaking. is able to rebound. He does everything what James Harden didn't do for the Nets and what they needed for James Harden to do. And I like that addition of Ben Simmons. And once he starts playing with his guys and getting that chemistry going, I like them a lot. But I do wonder about their rim protection. That's why I had the Knicks ahead of them because of Mitchell Robinson. They re-signed him for a pretty good contract. They went out and got Jalen Brunson, who is a bucket, who probably will show his worth of that contract. It was a pretty steep contract, but I do like that addition of him. Meaning quickly, Derrick Rose, RJ Barrett. And then Julius Randle, of course, kind of seems like he's starting to become a little bit of a headache for the Knicks. That's why they were kind of trying to trade maybe for Westbrook to get off the contract after 1 year with Westbrook. Get rid of Julius Randle and his contract would be a pretty big a significant change of pace for them. And so I see why the Knicks were wanting to do that, because he seems like that contract's kind of being a little bit sketchy. But I do like the team as a whole for the Knicks. Wow, my controller is just dying so often. My mouse. Let me go and scroll up. That was 7 through 10. Next up is 5 through 6. That being the Toronto Raptors at 6 and the Miami Heat at 5. Rookie of the Year in Scotty Barnes. You have still Pascal Siakam, the Van Vliet, Gary Trent Jr., two of the best defending guards in the league, and that backcourt is phenomenal. OG Anunoby they were able to keep. I do wonder about their bench because they got rid of Malachi Flynn. I wonder about their bench. They had Precious Achiuwa. The rim protection is another one. Their bench and their rim protection, because Joel Embiid ate them up during the play-in or playoffs. They got swept. I wonder about the rim protection. Their height, the tallest player is 6'9". There's nobody above that. Precious Achiuwa, Siakam, Scotty Barnes, and I think there's Chris Bozier, all 6'9". I worry about their height and their weight too. They're sturdy guys, but they're not big like a Joel Embiid. That's why again they got swept. Joel Embiid does 8 the whole time, but I still like the roster as a whole. Next up is the Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero. That was a pretty good contract of theirs. Duncan Robinson, they kept it. Kind of was worried about that, but during the preseason, he went off for 29 points, I believe. He was just nearly lights out. He almost didn't miss a shot. And then his contract is still sketchy for the fact that he does not play good defense or even decent defense. He doesn't play defense at all, but he's still a bucket. Tyler Hero's still a bucket. Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, like I was saying, PJ Tucker went to the 76ers. They're trying to trade for Jay Crowder. I do wonder about their forward position. Kyle Lowry is he's not regressing, but the injuries are starting to catch up. He is getting older, is what I worry about at the 1 also. The 1 and the 4 are what I worry about. Your Zevin, Gabe Vincent, and what's the other guard's name? Oh, man. I picture both of their faces. Gabe Vincent. Leave me down in the comments below what the other guard's name is. Oh, that's going to drive me nuts. Oh, and then also Nikola Jovic. Ooh, they actually might have their 5, or at their 4 with Jovic. As if he plays well enough. He might not play well enough. He did have a pretty solid preseason game. I'm going to keep him at 5, but they might be even higher. My prediction might be wrong. I like that Jovic a lot. But that is 5 through 6. And then, of course, like we did last year, it's quite obvious who's going to be number 1 after I show you 2 through 4. But we'll talk about 2 through 4 before we go into the number 1, the first seed for this upcoming season for my predictions. Number 4, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Celtics at 3, and the 76ers at 2. Which, probably the most shocking of them all, and that's being the Cleveland Cavaliers. I love the addition of Donovan Mitchell. That is phenomenal. A lot better of ball handling. He's able to play off guard. I like that they went and got, like, the Cleveland Cavaliers are still a young, growing team to go with Donovan Mitchell, who's still quite young. The Jazz were starting to get older, and they were wanting to rebuild and get rid of all these older players. Go ahead and just do a complete teardown, a complete rebuild. Cleveland Cavaliers like, let's go take him. They got Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell. I worry about their wing position. They still have Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen, who are 2 amazing front court players. I worry about their wing. They have Cedi Osman. Okoro probably will start for them. They have Kevin Love as a 6th man for $30 million a year. Jiminy Christmas. But I love their roster. I love that pickup of Donovan Mitchell so much. Next up is the Boston Celtics. That I love them picking up my Pacers, Malcolm Brogdon. They gave up a first round pick for this upcoming 2023 draft. They gave up Aaron Naismith, Daniel Tice. They gave up another guard. We ended up waiving him. For the life of me, I cannot think of his name. But not much they had to give up. And they got a great, solid bench player / starter. At times, there's going to be moments where he probably will start for the Boston Celtics because he is a bigger guard, that he's going to be able to guard bigger guards. He's a 50, 40, 90% kind of player. You wonder when he does miss free throws if the rim is kind of uneven because it's just so rare for him to miss. You got to all the Boston Celtics fans, you guys are going to absolutely love Malcolm Brogdon and not have to give up anybody significant like a Marcus Smart for Malcolm Brogdon. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, they were able to keep. They kept Al Horford. By golly, it hurts them to an extent losing Daniel Tice, but he didn't really play too much. But to get it, I like that addition of Malcolm Brogdon. And then, of course, you have 2 young guys that are still developing their game, that being Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. It's a hell of a roster, and I could see them being at the 3rd seed. And then 2nd seed, there was a battle right before I started recording this video of those 2 teams. I initially had the Celtics at 2, and then the 76ers at 3. But seeing these photos, seeing the development of James Harden getting into the gym, not necessarily bulking up, but losing that weight, and then transitioning into getting some bulk, like what you're supposed to do in life is, if you have so much weight on you, go and lose that weight. You're going to have excess skin, and then transition into getting that skin to mold into muscle is what James Harden did in these photos, and he looks absolutely chiseled out. He got rid of his contract of $47 million, I think. Got rid of that, and instead did the $30 million. Still a good chunk of money, but he took a pay cut when they went and got Montrezl Harrell, PJ Tucker. They were able to keep Maxey because he's on his rookie contract. Thibel's on his rookie contract. Joel Embiid is a heavy favorite of being an MVP this upcoming year. Korkmaz, I love this roster so much and Tobias Harris, of course, too. I love this roster so much for the 76ers. It's going to be a hell of a squad and a threat to make it to the finals. And so that is 2 through 15, and number 1 we have, in which I will show you after I get my controller, my mouse to turn on. At number 1, the Milwaukee Bucks at number 1. They were... I don't think they got swept. Did it take them to game 7? Hold on one second, ladies and gentlemen. I want to say they took them to 7. NBA 2022 playoffs. The bracket. I want to say they took them to 7. Yeah, they took him to 7. And that was without Chris Middleton, the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis is still on a tear. He's one of, if not the greatest player in the NBA right now. They went and re-signed Drew Holiday last offseason. No, this past offseason, but the offseason before when they won the championship. They have Brook Lopez. When healthy, has a good 3-point shot. I love the Milwaukee Bucks so much. And it hurts because of the... they're in my division for the Eastern Conference. Or for the Central Division. They're rivals of ours, but I just gotta be honest. Giannis is one of the greatest players in the NBA right now, if not the greatest, like I said. Between him and Curry, of course, LeBron James, and then Jason Tatum, an example. There's a handful of players that are just right up there that are some of the greatest. That's a whole other topic that... If you guys are interested in knowing my thoughts on the greatest players, leave a comment down below if you guys like to see that. And leave a comment down below of your top 5 players that in the NBA right now. I plan on leaving a comment down in the description myself, asking if you guys would be interested in seeing me do a top 25 players in the NBA. And then, like what I said before, this is going to be for the day of being Tuesday. Shortly after this, probably get a little bit of food, and then I'll get into the Western Conference seedings predictions. But I'm so glad to be talking once more with you guys. And a big shout out to all of you. We are at 101 subscribers. It is phenomenal news that we keep just getting further and further along. You guys have been loving the NBA 2K content. I hope you guys continue to love just the NBA content that I provide, and just any content that I provide, and I much appreciate it, guys. With all this being said, on this video right here, I'll talk to you guys later.